This is Newsbeat from OU Daily. My name's Megan.
And I'm Peggy.
Here are your weekly headlines. New changes to the city's public transit system will take effect on October 16th. Changes include having all routes operated out of the new Norman Transit Center, as well as new bus routes. These changes follow the unveiling of a new rideshare program, Norman On Demand, which operates on nights and Sundays.
Ward 2 Councilmember Lauren Schuler announced she will not seek re-election. Schuler was appointed to her role in 2021 and later won the 2022 election. Her term will end in July of 2024. Schuler wrote in a Facebook post that the role of councilmember is a, quote, tireless and thankless one. Schuler is not the only sitting council member to not participate in the 2024 elections. Ward 6 Councilmember Elizabeth Foreman announced earlier this year she would also not be seeking re-election.
Last week, Norman Public Schools Superintendent Nick Migliorino released a statement in response to Council's decision to postpone the vote on school resource officers. The vote would have dedicated over $900,000 to the expansion of the school resource officer program. Migliorino, along with professional educators of Norman, President Adrian Hall, wrote they hope the progress won't be stalled for long. The district aims to have at least one officer at all NPS sites by January. The pair asked families and educators for feedback about the postponement, saying they were worried about how safety measures could be affected.
Norman voters have seen an influx of one-issue elections this year, leading to voter fatigue for many residents and low voter turnout. The city has had one election nearly once a month over the past year, excluding July and August. To read more about this story, visit oudaily.com.
At this week's council meeting on Tuesday, council members talked about potential impacts on Westwood Golf Course from adjustments to the Max Westheimer Airport. OU proposed to deal with the city to acquire a small part of Westwood and then lease the property back for $1 a year. Council decided at the meeting to begin limiting miscellaneous public comment to a total of 30 minutes. Mayor Larry Heikkila presented the idea. He said the comments have turned into a yelling competition between residents and aren't always relevant to council matters.
A few council members were apprehensive about the change. Here's Schuler.
Democracy is messy, and this is part of democracy, is working with the public and hearing their input and allowing them to express themselves the way that they want.
Ward 7 Councilmember Stephen Tyler Holman, the longest-serving member on council, said the comments have changed over the years. Here's Holman.
During my time on council, all four of the mayors I've served with have made adjustments, and it has seemingly gotten worse the more that we've tried to control it or limit it.
Ultimately, the council opted to move the comments to the beginning of the meeting as well as limit the time.
Last week, OU released the annual Security and Fire Safety Report, which showed increases in reported motor vehicle thefts and stalking incidents on campus. The vehicle thefts from 2022 doubled to 20 compared to 10 in 2021. Stalking reports also doubled, with 12 instances reported in 2022 compared to 6 in 2021. For more details, visit oudaily.com. The McNair Scholars Program is returning to OU after it lost funding in February. The McNair program is designed to prepare underrepresented undergraduates for graduate programs. The program's funding was lost when the organization failed its external review. It was restored after the U.S. Congress passed a bipartisan funding agreement.
The stories that will be featured in OU Daily's fall magazine are live at oudaily.com. Let's give you a sneak peek at that print production.
The first story is about changes to Campus Corner ahead of OU's move to the Southeastern Conference and how the city is bracing itself for large crowds and an economic shift. Chamber of Commerce President Scott Martin told OU Daily that the city will be working toward improvements for decades to come. Here's Martin.
You've got, one time to make a first impression, right? So we've got to work really hard to be prepared next summer and next fall for when these guests come to town.
Next up is how OU's Student Government Association aims to improve campus and athletic engagement after meeting with other student leaders at SEC universities. Some of these include a call for a student representative on the Board of Regents. Here's SGA President Christopher Furch.
Some of the biggest decisions that are happening at OU are dependent on the Board of Regents, and so having a student be in these conversations in rooms and providing more transparency for students, and also giving students a voice at a table when, a lot of these things are impacting students specifically, is, I think, extremely important and imperative, and it's something we've been trying to do for a while.
Third in our fall magazine lineup is a story about how Main Street business owners and city leaders are preparing downtown Norman for new changes and opportunities. In their vision for downtown, Ward 4 council member Helen Grant said they hope the SEC move inspires more establishments to be safe spaces. 2 more stories will be published over the weekend and into next week. Our fall magazine will be released in mid-October. Keep your eyes out for a special edition of Newsbeat that dives deeper into the stories later this month.
It's OU Texas weekend. The game is the 119th time Oklahoma will face Texas. With no classes today, many OU students are heading south to Dallas. If it's your first time down to the game, or maybe you just want to be prepared, OU Daily's Culture Desk has put together a guide to the Red River Showdown. Check it out at oudaily.com or click the link in the description box below. This weekend also comes with a lot of traditions. On Monday, the Wesley hosted their annual Bevo Bash, where OU students smashed a burnt orange car with hammers. OU's NROTC took off for the annual Run to Dallas on Wednesday. Members of the NROTC will run a football all the way to Dallas ahead of Saturday's game.
OU Daily's Sports Desk will be live in Dallas for game coverage. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. The game will also be broadcasted on ABC. Let's look at the Daily's calendar for upcoming events this week. Tonight in Dallas, there will be an OU pep rally at the Omni Hotel, kicking off the events there. OU women's and men's tennis will compete at the ITA All-American Championships later today, tomorrow, and Sunday. OU soccer will play Cincinnati and Ohio on Sunday.
OU men's golf will play in the Big 12 Match Play Championship on Sunday and Monday. Monday is also Indigenous Peoples Day, and OU will be hosting several events on the South Oval in celebration. The Daily's calendar of events is filling up. The calendar tab on our website features campus, city, and statewide events.
Thanks for listening to Newsbeat from OU Daily. This is the Daily's weekly news podcast. New episodes of the Newsbeat will air every Friday. Each episode will give you a short recap of what happened on campus and across Norman that week. In the meantime, keep up with us throughout the week on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at the OU Daily, and on our website at oudaily.com.
Sports fans, check out the OU Daily Sports Podcast. Hear the latest in OU sports and commentary from sports editors Colton Soley and assistant sports editors Jason Patacchio and Louis Razor. You can find that on YouTube, Spotify, and oudaily.com. But if you'd like to read more about the stories you heard on this podcast, you can find those stories in the description box or online. My name is Peggy Dodd. I'm a news editor here at The Daily.
My name is Megan Pratt. I'm a news reporter here at The Daily.
And we will both see you here next week on The Newsbeat.